Welcome to the Flash Finds podcast, the world's fastest podcast where we explore how Facebook can help you with the stuff you're into. I'm your host, Emma Rogue, and today I'm with creator and home decor guru, Julie Souza. Julie, what's your number one tip?
So if you're into home decor, I would suggest looking into Buy Nothing Facebook groups. It's a great way to explore your style, all for free.
Ooh, we love free stuff. Thanks, Julie. See you next time on the Flash Finds podcast, all about discovering the stuff on Facebook you care about. Bye.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Some landlords in desperate straits. Joining us live now to discuss, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, who was at the rally last night. Good to see you in person.
Of course.
So you've been warning that this eviction deadline was coming for weeks.
Yeah.
Democrats control the House. You guys control the Senate. You guys control the White House. Nothing aggressive was done by leadership until just a couple days ago. Who's to blame here?
Well, I think there's a couple of issues here. First of all, you are absolutely correct in that the House and House leadership had the opportunity to vote to extend the moratorium. And there were many, and there was frankly a handful of conservative Democrats in the House that threatened to get on planes rather than hold this vote. And we have to really just call a spade a spade. We cannot, in good faith, blame the Republican Party when House Democrats have a majority. Now, there is something to be said for the fact that this court order came down on the White House a month ago, and the White House waited until the day before the House adjourned to release a statement asking on Congress to extend the moratorium. This came after weeks. I sit on the Financial Services Committee, which has jurisdiction over housing. We had, the housing secretary there asking about the administration's stance. We asked the Biden administration about their stance, and they were not being really forthright about that advocacy and that request until the day before the House adjourned. And so the House was put into I believe, a needlessly difficult situation. And it's not just me saying that. Financial Services Chairwoman Maxine Waters has made that very clear as well. And so there's a couple of contributing factors here. We have governors who are also not getting this emergency rental assistance out in time, which is forcing this extension, what we would like an extension of the moratorium. The fact of the matter is that the problem is here. The House should reconvene and call this vote and extend the moratorium. There's about 11 million people that are behind on their rent at risk of eviction. That's 1 out of every 6 renters in the United States.
Congress is out of town for the next 7 weeks. Speaker Pelosi made it clear in a letter to Democrats last night she's not calling the House back. The Senate's here because they got the infrastructure bill. And you heard Manchin say that he thinks that the moratorium should be extended so that these tens of billions of dollars can get out the door. What's your response?
Well, listen, the House adjourned technically for 7 weeks, but I want to be very clear that due to the ongoing negotiations with the bipartisan infrastructure bill, we were given very specific instructions that we are set to adjourn for 7 weeks, but every
shut her off.
Representatives
Shut
is
her
currently
off.
on a 24-hour
Shut her off.
call.
I don't want to hear it. According to AOC, by the way, you can hear background noises and everything, guys. I decided to just take this whole podcast recording here on the episode and just bring it outside. Why not, right? Gotta enjoy the fresh elements every now and then. That fresh air. Can't always be cooped up in the house. So you're probably gonna hear some birds chirping. Some cars passing. I'm literally right on my balcony here, here in Georgia. I live in the Atlanta area, so I love spending time in the outdoors here. It's so pretty out here, especially when during the spring and summer and fall and stuff. We get a mixture of different colors. Green and then when fall comes here, you get the different colors in the trees. It's really pretty here in Georgia. But according to AOC now, guys, more than enough votes to prevent massive infrastructure from passing without the bill, without negotiating the bill. What? Oh boy, I tell you guys. Representative AOC, just yesterday on CNN's State of the Union, said that there were more than enough votes to prevent the bipartisan infrastructure bill from passing the House, without the much larger bill that the Democrats want to pass with this process. The anchor there from CNN, Jake Tapper, said, you just heard that Joe Manchin a few moments ago, talked about the bill, which is a $3.5 trillion bill that they're trying to pass in the House. He said he can't give any guarantee it would pass the Senate. What's your response to that? AOC then goes, these deals on infrastructure that, like, oh my God, I mean, that's how she talks, folks, that have gone out are not just bipartisan, but they were bicameral. What kind of words is that? I mean, this woman uses some off the charts words. It was made very clear at the beginning of this process that the bipartisan deal, if it even survives the Senate, the only chance that it has at passing the House is if the House passes the Senate bill and if the Senate passes the House bill. Well, common sense, right? So we just can't have one body driving the entire agenda for the country, and frankly, 20 senators within one body. So we need a bill if we want this bipartisan bill to pass. According to AOC, yeah, the nut job from Queens. She is a nut job. Her eyes bulge out of her freaking head when she gets excited about something. And this is coming from a former bartender. Apparently, she's an expert in political affairs, political agendas, political policies. Yeah, this woman is apparently a professional within the last 3 years. What is it, 2-3 years now that she's a representative? Yeah. Crap, guys. That's all it is crap. On other news, what is going on? There's a lot of stuff going on. I can tell you that. Speaking of AOC, there's a story buzzing the social media platforms all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. AOC and Cori Bush launch a racial attack on bipartisan deal. Hashtag negotiations so white. She had to throw that little hashtag in there, right? What the hell is wrong with these people? Several Democrats in the left-wing squad in the U.S. House of Representatives attacked the Senate's $1.2 trillion infrastructure deal on Wednesday evening by drawing attention to the radical makeup of the negotiation. Who are white? Yeah. The House Democrats, including Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, Nancy's back. Queen Pelosi is what some people are calling her from the incident that she's going to fine or throw House members or Senate members in jail if they refuse to wear a mask. Yeah, Queen Nancy has said that they will not support the bipartisan Senate deal unless the Senate also passes a $3.5 trillion bill on the other infrastructure through that process. So, folks, there's a larger bill that also includes green policies, the whole new Green New Deal. That's what the squad wants. That's what this radical Democrat wants, it seems. This socialist Democratic Party. They want Green New Deals. Along with left-wing social spending priorities that Republicans rejected in the negotiations. And it goes on to here. I want to I want to quote a tweet coming out of the Progressive Caucus here. And I quote, "Our statement on the budget and infrastructure negotiations. Representative Pramila, if I'm pronouncing that right, Jayapal, Washington, the 7th, I guess that's the 7th chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, issued the following statement on the ongoing infrastructure negotiations. And I quote, "Progressives have been clear from the beginning. A small and narrow bipartisan infrastructure bill does not have a path forward in the House of Representatives unless it has a package that goes along with it, with our priorities alongside it. We look forward to seeing the progress made by the 20 senators, but the votes of the Congressional Progressive Caucus members are not guaranteed on any bipartisan practice." So basically they're saying that this goes towards the investments we identified months ago, our long-standing Democratic parties, including affordable housing, Medicare expansion, strengthening the care economy, climate control, and a roadmap towards citizenship. Did you see that they forgot to put border security? Because they don't support that, guys. They want the border wide open and care less about the border. That's the real Democrats for you. But that was not enough for some members of the squad, who blamed the shape of the deal on the race of the senators. Oh my God. First-term Representative Cori Bush, Democrat out of, Missouri, right? Likened the bipartisan group of senators to the audience at a Kid Rock concert. She says this on her Twitter page. Is this a bipartisan infrastructure group or the audience at a Kid Rock concert? Hashtag negotiations so white. Yeah, they got to throw that hashtag in there. Folks, this is crazy. And then AOC tweeting right after that. A lot of times bipartisan agreements are just as defined by people in power agreed to include or exclude any that are included to begin with. Yeah, hashtag negotiations so white. Yeah, they have to put that hashtag in. Like this is a fraternity party? No AOC. This is a House of Representative type of conversation. This isn't a frat party when you were younger and you go to the party and you act stupid and you get drunk. Folks, this is the idiocy that we have in this country. This is why our country is going down the crap hole. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back after these words. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, just got some brand new t-shirts on the storefront, Patriot Unfiltered, which is available on my social media platforms, both Instagram and Facebook. On the Instagram page, Patriot Angle Show. On Facebook, the Patriot Angle Podcast. You can see these shirts both available in women's and men's apparel. Starting today, you can get an additional 10% off. Not only on these t-shirts, but the entire storefront. That's right, guys. 10% off everything on the Patriot Unfiltered shop until this Saturday, the 31st. These t-shirts, brand new t-shirts, guys. Liberalism is a mental disorder. Grab them today and show your patriotic pride against that liberal.
Talk a little bit about the infrastructure plan, the bipartisan plan. There was a lot of focus and obsession, I would say, with getting a couple of Republicans on board with this plan so they can pass it in a bipartisan way. The reports are it includes some privatization schemes, things like asset recycling, which is basically just a fancy name for selling off some public works. Do you expect to vote in favor of that bill based on what you know?
Good question. All right, look, between you and me, don't tell anybody. I think this whole process doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Look, you got needs out there. Mm-hmm. Should we invest heavily in rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure, roads, bridges, water, huge problem, wastewater plants, broadband? All of those are huge issues. Of course we should do it. My own preference would have been to do it in one bill. That's all. And get the 50 votes plus the vice president that we need. Again, there are 50 members of the Democratic caucus. Some felt it very important to, for whatever reason, to show the world that they can work with Republicans, and that's what this process is about. So I think by and large, and we haven't seen the fine print of this legislation yet, as you and I chat, I think the investments are sensible. Roads, bridges, all that stuff. Creates jobs, it's important. What we call the pay-fors, how these things are going to be funded, in many ways do not make a lot of sense to me based on what I have seen up to now. They are pretty conservative approaches. And the reason for that is Republicans, of course, don't want to raise any taxes on the wealthy or large corporations. So,
I want to stop it right there. As much as I don't agree on a lot of things that Senator Sanders, that was Senator Bernie Sanders, by the way, speaking on a podcast last Wednesday. Not my podcast, another political podcast. Probably wouldn't even have him on my podcast. I don't know, here and there. But anyway, I don't agree with Senator Sanders on a lot of different terms and a lot of different options and views that he says. But he makes a valuable point here that there shouldn't be a bipartisan bill unless there is a reconciliation bill, meaning that they have to negotiate. I agree with him. There shouldn't be a bipartisan bill unless there is a negotiation bill. They have to negotiate. They have to reconcile. They have to, say, hey, this is not about, blue versus red or red versus blue, Republican versus Democrat. You get the point, right? Senators also said that I am willing to go along. I think I want to see the final details of the bipartisan bill. If there is 100% agreement on the part of the Democrats who want negotiating this, that they are going to go along with the package anyway. I mean, that's how the Democrats work, right? It's like what they want is what they want. It's either their way or the highway, right? Pretty much. He then added that all I can tell you is if I have anything to say about it, there will not be a bipartisan bill unless there is a negotiation bill first. So they got to negotiate, guys. It's just simple mathematics about it. Simple terms, right? You can't if you want something in life, you just can't say, oh, I'm going to get it anyway, right? Because I'm me. It doesn't work that way. You got to talk it out, no matter what the situation is. And that's that, folks. It is what it is. What's going to happen in the House? Will, Chuck Schumer try to pass it? Will Queen Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, tried to pass it anyway? I mean, she's drunk on power from her last set of sagas. If you tuned into my podcast yesterday, oh boy, which was a heated podcast. You guys got to tune into that. It was a really good podcast. But according to Queen Pelosi, she can, I guess, do whatever she damn well pleases. I mean, it seems like that, right? It seems like she can do whatever the hell she damn well pleases. Because she's Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. That's called abuse of power, folks. Literally. That's what that's called. In closing here, because I gotta close out here soon, because this just came on the airwaves just to basically give you what's popping here in the headlines, because you're my audience, you're my loyal listeners, and you deserve it. You deserve to hear the honest yet truthful facts of the daily news and political headlines. You deserve that, and I give that to you 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So in closing here, Chuck Schumer is basically saying that infrastructure package must contain Green New Deal-like policies. What the hell is that all about? I'll repeat it again. Chuck Schumer basically said, just coming out a couple days ago, Wednesday, that last week, God, we're into Monday already. Last week, that infrastructure package must contain Green New Deal-like policies. What the hell is the Senate Majority Leader Schumer talking about? Well, he said that the infrastructure package must contain a large-scale environmental policy. What the hell does it... that's what you get out of these Dems, folks. They talk everything. They tell you what they want, but they don't roll out the actual policy or the actual part of the conversation, what they're trying to say. It's like gibbish. You can barely make out what the hell they're saying to begin with. You can clearly see that in our president, too. Don't get me started with that one. He basically says that I will not pass an infrastructure package that does not reduce carbon pollution at the scale with the urgency of the climate crisis we faced. Yeah, according to Schumer, the world is a lot more hotter now than it was thousands upon thousands of millions of years ago. How they get these theories, folks, I have no idea. Maybe there's a time machine, where Schumer tells Pelosi, they reenact the Back to the Future, and Schumer is what Doc Brown, and Nancy Pelosi is Michael J. Fox, Marty McFly. We gotta kick this thing into 88 miles per hour. We have to go back into the future. We have to see what the world was like back then. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, that's what you're getting out of this. That's what you're getting out of this. You're getting basically a clown show. That's who's running the White House. The clowns. Yes. Because they have no means of messaging coming out of every little policy that they propose. They say these crazy off-the-wall things that don't work, that don't make sense. I mean, folks, I'm still trying to make any part of sense of what they're trying to say, because I don't understand a damn word that they are saying. It doesn't make sense. Here's Senator Schumer here. I'm going to make this real quick because we're running out of time. Here's Majority Leader Chuck Schumer saying that I will not pass the infrastructure package if it doesn't reduce carbon pollution. He wants to make sure it's in that bill. Check this out, guys.
And as Majority Leader, I have made it clear I will not pass an infrastructure package that does not reduce carbon pollution at a scale commensurate with the urgency of the climate crisis we face. Plain and simple, and that's what Democrats intend to do. We're united in taking on the climate crisis as we move forward with a bold infrastructure plan, the Jobs and Family Plan. And through the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the budget reconciliation bill, the Senate will make our largest investments to tackle the climate crisis and environmental justice ever in our nation's history. And as Majority Leader, I have made it clear I will not pass an infrastructure package that does not reduce carbon pollution at a scale commensurate with the urgency of the climate crisis we face. Plain and simple, and that's what Democrats intend to do. We're united in taking on the climate crisis as we move forward with a bold infrastructure plan, the Jobs and Family Plan. And through the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the budget reconciliation bill, the Senate will make our largest investments to tackle the climate crisis and environmental justice ever in our nation's history. And as Majority Leader, I have made it clear I will not pass an infrastructure package that does not reduce carbon pollution at a scale commensurate with the urgency of the climate crisis we face. Plain and simple, and that's what Democrats intend to do. We're united in taking on the climate crisis as we move forward with a bold infrastructure plan, the Jobs and Family Plan. And through the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the budget reconciliation bill, the Senate will make our largest investments to tackle the climate crisis and environmental justice ever in our nation's history. And as Majority Leader, I have made it clear I will not pass an infrastructure package that does not reduce carbon pollution at a scale commensurate with the urgency of the climate crisis we face. Plain and simple, and that's what Democrats intend to do.
And that's what Democrats tend to do. I don't know. What was it, earlier last year? They all seemed to love each other. Like they were best buddies, right? Because they were trying so very hard to impeach, Mr. T there, Donald Trump, out of office. Yeah, they were so hard at working together then to get this former president impeached on just about made-up crimes. But this is your leadership at the up in Washington today. Yeah, this is also coming from a Schumer $1 trillion spending proposal alongside a Moody's report he released July 21st that argues spending trillions will ease inflation pressures. What? Oh, wait, what? I gotta read that again. He says that argues that spending trillions will ease inflation pressures. How the hell is it going to ease it when you're spending $1 trillion? That's like going to the store and telling your kid or your somebody in the family, oh, if you go in the store and you spend so much stuff, you're going to get so much in return, right? But then you take the money or the financial source out of the person's pocket. What happens after that? They're not that same person. They're broke. This doesn't make no damn sense whatsoever. No sense whatsoever. That being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. I knew it was a short show. Glad you stopped by. And we will see you tomorrow night on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good rest of your week. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.